The rain drummed insistently on the cracked pavement of the rundown street, a relentless reminder of the day's misfortunes. Lurking in the shadows of a dilapidated warehouse, a rusted trolley bus stood abandoned, its once vibrant paint now faded into a ghostly hue of blue and gray. It was a haunting backdrop against which Mia Thompson, a struggling single mother of two, was about to make a life-altering decision. Mia adjusted her worn-out coat, the fabric fraying at the edges, and tightened her grip on her umbrella as she peered at the trolley bus. She had stumbled upon the vehicle on a late-night drive, her mind racing with the possibilities it could offer. For a mere $150, it was within her meager budget, and it seemed like a beacon of hope amidst the chaos of her life. A home, a sanctuary, or even a makeshift office for her fledgling bakery business. What she didn't realize was that this trolley bus housed more than just her dreams. It concealed a mystery that would spiral her into a treacherous world. But there was a darker undertone to the trolley bus's past, one tied tightly to her antagonists, the Connors, a notorious family of criminals who had previously claimed the bus as their own. The Connors, led by the ruthless Victor Connor, had left behind a trail of destruction and fear in their wake. Victor, with his steely blue eyes and jagged tattoos sprawling across his arms, seemed to embody danger itself. He was a man who took what he wanted without remorse, and the moment he learned of Mia's plans, he would stop at nothing to reclaim what he believed was rightfully his. Mia's heart raced as she recalled the conversation with the seller, an old man with a shifty gaze, who had assured her the bus was untouched by the Connors since they had fled the city. "Just some old junk, love," he had said. "You'll be fine." But she knew better. Life had taught her that nothing was ever what it seemed, and the weight of that truth pressed heavily on her shoulders. She pulled out her phone, scrolling across the sparse contacts. Her best friend, Kelly Johnson, was the only lifeline she had to sanity. As she dialed Kelly's number, an uneasy feeling gnawed at her gut. "Mia, is everything all right?" Kelly's voice crackled through the line, concern lacing her words. "Mia, you won't believe what I just found," Mia gushed, her voice a mix of excitement and apprehension. "A trolley bus. It's only $150. I think it could be the answer to all my problems." "Are you mad? You can't just buy a bus. What are you even thinking?" Kelly's voice thickened with disbelief. "You know what happened with the Connors. They'll come after you if they find out." Mia sighed, looking back at the bus, her imagination running wild. "I know, but I can make it work. I just need a chance." The tension crackled in the air as she hung up, and with one last look at the trolley bus, she decided. This was it. She would make it hers. As she approached the bus, rain-soaked and hopeful, a sense of dread washed over her. The door creaked open with a mournful groan, and darkness loomed inside. She climbed aboard, her feet squelching on the damp floor, and as her eyes adjusted to the dim light, she was struck with an unsettling sensation. The bus was more than just rusting metal and worn upholstery. It was a vessel of secrets waiting to be unearthed. A soft thud echoed from the rear, and Mia's heart leapt into her throat. She turned, squinting into the shadows, her pulse racing. Perhaps it was merely a rat, but the unease prickling at the back of her neck told her otherwise. She moved cautiously towards the back, each step heavy with uncertainty, her breath catching in her throat. There it was, the electrical box, partially concealed behind a tattered curtain. It looked out of place, almost as if it held a piece of the bus's history that had been intentionally hidden away. With trembling hands, she reached for it, her heart pounding in sync with the rain outside. As she opened the panel, a glimmer caught her eye. Nestled deep inside were stacks of aged papers, their edges frayed and yellowed with time. Mia's breath hitched in her throat, her hands shaking as she pulled them out. The words "rare bonds" jumped out at her, and her mind raced. What did this mean? A sudden vision of dollar signs flashed in her mind, and the weight of the world seemed to lift. Could this be the solution to her financial woes? but a lingering doubt crept in. What if these bonds led her straight into the hands of Victor Connor? The sound of footsteps outside broke her reverie, and cold fear gripped her heart. Someone was approaching, and instinct kicked in. The trolley bus was no longer a simple vessel of hope. It had transformed into a ticking time bomb. Mia glanced around, every sound amplifying the tension in the air. She had to act fast. With shaking hands, she stuffed the bonds into her coat pocket, her mind racing. What lay ahead could be more dangerous than anything she had imagined. "Get out," she whispered to herself, but her feet felt glued to the damp floor. The shadows outside grew darker, and as the footsteps drew near, Mia braced herself for the confrontation that could shatter her fragile new beginnings. The stakes were suddenly much higher, and she could feel the shadows of the past creeping closer, threatening to engulf her in their darkness. Would she be ready to fight back, or would she be dragged down by the weight of the Connors' legacy? Mia tightened her grip around the rusty railing of the abandoned trolley bus, her heart pounding as the footsteps approached. She could see the silhouette of Mia's, her estranged mother, casting a long shadow over the ground. The woman had always been a force of nature, and now, standing in front of the bus she had abandoned, the air crackled with tension. "Mia, darling?" Mia's voice dripped with a false sweetness that sent chills down Mia's spine. "I see you've taken up residence in this old wreck. I should have known you'd find a way to cling to the past." "Not the past," Mia shot back, her voice steady despite the fear gnawing at her insides. "It's my future you're trying to sabotage." Mia's smirk faded slightly, revealing the anger that lurked beneath her calm facade. "You think this heap of metal will save you? You're just like your father, chasing after lost causes. But I've come to set things straight." The wind picked up, howling through the bus's broken windows, and Mia could feel the weight of uncertainty pressing down on her. What did her mother want? Why had she returned after all these years? "I know about the bonds, Mia," Mia said, stepping closer, her eyes narrowing. "The ones you've hidden in that electrical box. You think you can just make a life for yourself using what was left behind? You're mistaken." Mia stepped back instinctively, her mind racing. "What do you mean? You can't possibly know what's in there." "I know more than you think," Mia's replied, her voice steady. "And I want my share. You're not entitled to anything that belonged to our family. You're just a broken single mother with nothing to offer." A surge of anger flared within Mia. "You've never cared about what's rightfully mine. You abandoned me, and now you think you can waltz back into my life and take what's mine. Life isn't fair, Mia," Mia said, a cruel glint in her eyes. "I'll do whatever it takes to get what I'm owed. You don't know what I had to endure to survive. You have no idea of the sacrifices I made." Mia felt her heart sink. This wasn't just a fight over bonds. It was a clash of legacies, the culmination of years of pain and resentment. "You think I owe you something? You left me to fend for myself. You let me struggle while you lived your life." Mia scoffed, folding her arms. "And yet here you are, still struggling. You've made a mess of your life, and I'm here to fix it." "No!" Mia shouted, determination flooding her veins. "You're not fixing anything. You're here to take what I fought for. This bus is my home now. It's a chance for my son. You can't steamroll over me anymore." Mia's took a step forward, her expression hardening. "You think this is over? I will not let you destroy what's left of our family. You don't get to turn your back on us and expect to keep the spoils." Mia felt the adrenaline surge, her instincts kicking in. "If you want the bonds, you'll have to go through me." "Fine," Mia said with a sinister smile. "Let's see how far you're willing to go for something that's not even yours." As the tension reached its peak, the sound of a distant siren wailed through the night, a reminder that they were not alone. Mia's glared at her, a spark of fear briefly flashing across her otherwise composed face. "You don't think the authorities would care about a forgotten bus, do you?" "They will if you make a scene," Mia said, her voice low but firm. "This is my life you're threatening. I won't let you ruin it again." Mia's hesitated, weighing her options. The siren grew louder, a palpable reminder of impending consequences. "You may think you're brave, but you're just a scared little girl hiding behind this rusting monstrosity." Mia squared her shoulders, refusing to back down. "And you're a woman scared of losing control. You don't own me, and you never did." With that declaration, Mia turned to the electrical box, her heart pounding as she reached for it. The stakes had shifted, and she could no longer afford to be passive. She knew she had to confront her mother, to take back what was hers once and for all. "What are you doing?" Mia's demanded, her voice rising with a mix of anger and concern. "Don't even think about it." Mia felt the heat of her mother's fury, but she wasn't backing down. "I'm not afraid of you anymore, and I'm certainly not afraid of what's in here." As she opened the electrical box, a flicker of anxiety crossed her mother's face. Inside lay the aged documents, remnants of a legacy Mia had never truly understood. "What's in there, Mia? Don't you dare make a fool out of yourself." "The only fool here is you," Mia replied, pulling out the bonds, their significance slowly dawning on her. "These represent my chance to break free from your curse. They're worth more than you'll ever understand." Mia's lunged forward, desperation painting her features. "Give me those. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into." Mia held them tightly, her heart racing as the realization of what she possessed washed over her. "You think you can intimidate me into giving up? You think you can control everything? Not anymore." The shadows deepened around them, and with the siren's wail echoing in the distance, the confrontation teetered on the edge of chaos, both women locked in a struggle not just for control, but for their very identities. Would this be the moment when Mia finally broke free from a legacy that had haunted her for too long? Mia stood her ground, her heart racing as the sirens grew louder, a cacophony reverberating through the desolate surroundings of the abandoned trolley bus. The shadows twisted around them, and for the first time, Mia's voice quivered with a swell of defiance. "I'm done living in fear, Mia's. You don't control me anymore." Mia's eyes narrowed, her expression a mix of rage and incredulity. "You think you can just walk away from this? You have no idea what you're dealing with." The tension in the air crackled like electricity, each moment stretching into eternity as they faced off. Suddenly, a commotion erupted as the police arrived, lights flashing. The sound of their footsteps echoed, and Mia felt a surge of hope. This was her chance. In a split second, she lunged towards the electrical box, pulling it open. The glimmer of the rare bonds inside caught Mia's eye, creating a brief moment of distraction. "What are you doing?" Mia's hissed, through gritted teeth, but the urgency of the moment drowned out the words. "The truth is, you've been playing a dangerous game all along," Mia declared, clutching the bonds. "You thought you could intimidate me into submission, but these," she gestured at the valuable papers, "could change everything." Just then, the police officers, alerted by the sirens, burst onto the scene, their presence commanding immediate attention. "Ladies, step away from each other," one of them shouted, raising his hands as he assessed the situation. Mia's heart raced with a cocktail of anxiety and adrenaline. This was her moment to finally break free from the chains that had restrained her for so long. "I'm not afraid of you or your threats, Mia's. This is my life now." With the police between them, Mia felt the oppressive weight of her past begin to lift. The confrontation that had felt so terrifying mere moments ago now seemed to dissolve into clarity. She turned to the officers, her voice steady. "She's been threatening me over these bonds for months. I just want to protect my children and start anew." Mia's face twisted in fury, but the arrival of the police had clearly shifted the balance of power. The officers exchanged glances, their instincts kicking in as they assessed the volatile situation. They approached Mia's, their expressions turning serious. "You need to come with us for questioning," the leading officer said, his tone firm yet measured. Questioning? For what? Mia's retorted, her bravado crumbling under scrutiny. I've done nothing wrong. Let's just say we've had some reports about you. And it's time we had a chat, the officer replied, gesturing for her to step forward. As Mia's was led away, Mia felt an unexpected rush of triumph, mixed with an unsettling sense of uncertainty. In that moment, she understood that she was finally free of the shackles that had bound her, and it felt as if a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. Hours passed, and as the adrenaline of the confrontation faded, Mia returned to her children. They embraced her, their innocence a stark contrast to the chaos left behind. "Mummy, are you okay?" her eldest son asked, concern etched on his small face. "I'm fine, love," Mia assured him, holding them tight. "We're going to be okay. We have a future to look forward to." In the following months, Mia began to rebuild her life. The rare bonds she had discovered bore an unexpected weight, both financially and emotionally. With the proceeds, she moved into a modest yet vibrant home, allowing her children to thrive in a space filled with laughter and warmth. She enrolled them in local activities, creating a new routine that replaced the shadows of her past. However, the true transformation lay deeper than just physical surroundings. Mia sought therapy to address the emotional scars left by the years of intimidation and fear. It was a difficult journey, but with every session, she confronted her past, learning to reclaim her voice and power. Her relationship with her children flourished, and she became more than just a survivor. She became a mother who encouraged them to dream and pursue their passions. Years later, Mia stood in her new backyard, watching her children play under the sun, their laughter a melody of hope. The scars of her past were still present but had lessened with time. They were reminders of her strength, not chains that held her back. She reflected on how far she had come, having turned the darkness of her previous life into a beacon of possibility. Mia's, however, remained a lingering presence. Though her threats had receded, they echoed in Mia's mind as a reminder of how fragile her newfound peace could be. Mia learned to stay vigilant, ensuring that she was never too far from the truth of her circumstances. While she longed for a definitive resolution, she understood that part of her strength lay in embracing the uncertainty of life. As time moved forward, Mia's determination blossomed into a fierce independence, guiding her children to become resilient individuals, aware of their strengths. She instilled in them the values of courage and perseverance, ensuring they understood the importance of standing up for themselves. In moments of quiet reflection, Mia often thought back to the confrontation with Mia's, the catalyst that had sparked her transformation. It had been the moment when she had finally reclaimed her life, a defining instance that would forever resonate as a testament to her strength and resolve. Though the journey had been arduous, the lessons learned would pave the way for generations to come, leaving a legacy of resilience and hope in the face of adversity. The past no longer dictated her future. Instead, it became a stepping stone towards a brighter tomorrow.